Have you ever felt this? You want more. Not average, not survival. More. More money, more control, more respect, more from yourself. You imagine the version of you who wakes up early, who trains even when tired, who builds instead of consumes, who finishes what he starts. You see that person clearly in your head. But when the alarm rings, you hit snooze. When it's time to work, you check notifications. When it's time to sacrifice, you negotiate. And you whisper the most dangerous word in the English language: tomorrow. Alex was 29. Not broke, not struggling, not failing. Just stuck. He had potential. Everyone told him that. You're smart. You could do something big. You just need to focus. He believed them, and that belief became his prison. Because potential feels like progress, but it's not. Potential is a story you tell yourself to avoid facing reality. Alex consumed ambition daily. Podcasts about discipline, videos about billionaires, threads about productivity systems. He knew the morning routines of successful people. He knew how dopamine worked. He knew about deep work. He knew everything, except how to sit down and do the boring work consistently. He didn't lack knowledge. He lacked obedience to himself. One night, after another Reset Monday promise, he opened his phone settings. Screen time, 6 hours and 47 minutes. Almost 7 hours in one day. That's almost a full-time job, except he wasn't building anything. He was watching other people build. That's when the illusion cracked. He wasn't tired. He wasn't unlucky. He wasn't misunderstood. He was choosing comfort repeatedly. Here's the uncomfortable truth nobody wants to hear. You are not lazy. You are trained. Trained to seek comfort. Trained to avoid discomfort. Trained to protect your ego. Because discipline hurts your identity. If you try seriously and fail, you can't say, "I never tried." So you stay in the safe zone. You stay almost. Almost starting, almost committing, almost changing, and almost is addictive. The next morning, the alarm rang at 6 a.m. Alex's brain immediately started talking. You slept late. You need recovery. You'll start fresh next week. His brain wasn't evil. It was efficient. It wanted comfort. But for the first time, Alex didn't debate. He didn't hype himself up. He didn't wait for motivation. He moved. He stood up. That was it. No transformation montage. Just a decision. The first week was brutal. Not because the workouts were impossible. Not because the work was too hard, but because his identity resisted. His old self fought back. The one who loved shortcuts. The one who loved easy dopamine. The one who loved talking more than doing. Every day felt like friction. But friction is proof of change. On day 5, he almost quit. He thought, "This isn't me." And he realized something powerful. Exactly, it wasn't him. Yet. He had spent years voting for the comfortable version of himself. Every scroll was a vote. Every excuse was a vote. Every delay was a vote. Identity is not a declaration. It's a pattern of repeated votes. And he had voted for weakness, hundreds of times. By day 10, something subtle shifted. He still felt resistance, but he also felt control. When he said he would train, he trained. When he said he would work for one focused hour, he worked. It wasn't heroic, it was boring. But boring builds power. Here's what most people misunderstand. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is structural. Motivation depends on mood. Discipline depends on decision. And mood changes hourly. Decision changes identity. Alex stopped asking himself how he felt. He started asking, "What did I say I would do?" And then he did it. Even when it was inconvenient, especially when it was inconvenient. Around day 21, something happened. He looked at himself in the mirror after training. Nothing dramatic had changed physically, but something in his eyes was different. Certainty. He wasn't proud of results. He was proud of consistency, and consistency creates confidence. Not compliments, not followers, not applause. Kept promises. Let's be honest. You don't hate hard work. You hate the version of yourself that has to change. Because once you commit seriously, you remove your safety net. You can't say, "I could have done it." You either do it or you don't. And that's terrifying, because then the truth is visible, not hidden behind potential. 30 days later, Alex wasn't rich. He didn't launch a viral startup. He didn't transform overnight, but he had something most people never build: self-trust. When he scheduled work, he showed up. When he set a rule, he followed it. When his brain negotiated, he ignored it. And suddenly, life felt different. Not easier, clearer. Here's what nobody tells you. The gap between who you are and who you want to be is not talent. It's tolerance for discomfort. If you increase your tolerance for discomfort, your identity expands. If you protect comfort, your identity shrinks. It's that simple and that hard. You are not waiting for the right time. You are waiting to feel ready. And ready is a myth. No one feels ready to change their life. They just decide that staying the same is worse. So let me ask you something uncomfortable. When the alarm rings tomorrow, who wins? The version of you that wants comfort, or the version of you that wants control? Because you can't build discipline occasionally, you build it daily. You don't destroy your potential in one big failure. You destroy it in small, comfortable decisions, again and again and again. You don't need another motivational video. You don't need another productivity app. You need one rule. When you say you will do something, do it. Not because you're inspired, because you gave your word, and your word should matter to you. The world doesn't lack talent, it lacks consistency, and consistency is available to anyone willing to be uncomfortable, including you. So the next time your mind says later, ask yourself, how many tomorrows have you already wasted? Because comfort is quiet, but it compounds, just like discipline. And one day, you will either look back at proof of growth or at proof of delay. The choice isn't dramatic, it's daily, and it starts when the alarm rings. What you do in that moment is who you are becoming.